The motion is adopted by a majority of the total membership of the House and by a majority of not less than 2/3 of the members of the House present and voting. A historic achievement. Congratulations.
As September drew to a close, a landmark legislation marked a new milestone in the journey of the world's largest democracy. In a historic development, the 128th Constitution Amendment Bill was passed by both houses of Parliament, becoming law of the land as the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. Hello and welcome to Sansad TV. This is Rini Choudhury and you're watching a special report where we explore how the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam sets the stage to usher in a more inclusive and empowered society.
महिला आरक्षण विधेयक सरकार लेकर आई है, इसकी मैं तहे दिल से सराहना करती हूँ।
ऐतिहासिक दिन है महिलाओं के लिए, इसलिए मैं इस बिल का समर्थन करती हूँ।
We will certainly support women reservation bill in this house.
ये बिल को संपूर्ण मात्रा रे समर्थन करी मु बर वक्तव्य रखुची।
इसको वेलकम करती हूँ, मैं इसको सपोर्ट करती हूँ और एक ऐसा ऐतिहासिक दिन हम रचने जा रहे हैं।
I support the bill.
इस बिल का समर्थन करने के लिए मैं खड़ी हुई हूँ।
I speak in favor of the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam.
It took nearly 3 decades of championing the cause of increased political representation of women in India.
We have fought, suffered and sacrificed in the cause of our country's freedom.
To arrive at this critical juncture, it is but befitting that this transformative legislation for gender justice was the first to be passed in the new building of Parliament, a symbol of a new beginning, an embodiment of the aspirations of independent India.
The new building of Parliament, a testament to dawn of Atmanirbhar Bharat, is much beyond an architectural marvel. It is a reflection of India's rich cultural diversity, a symbol of national pride, unity and identity. As we march into the new Parliament building, we must enhance cooperation and consensual approach. This historic walk to the new building of Parliament in Amrit Kal be the march to Bharat at 2047 as developed nation. Let us in togetherness make the new chambers of the Parliament the sanctum sanctorum of our temple of democracy.
The effort to give 1/2 of the country's population their due share in representative democracy has weathered several storms over 27 long years. The 81st Constitution Amendment Bill, proposing reservation for women in the Parliament, was introduced in the Lok Sabha in 1996. The bill witnessed long heated exchanges in the House, followed by recommendation by a joint parliamentary committee. But the bill lapsed, as it did 4 more times between 1998 and 2003.
संशोधित बिल यहाँ आ जाए और ये सत्र पूरा होने से पहले ये बिल पारित होकर के जाए, तब तो प्रधानमंत्री के प्रारंभिक वक्तव्य की बात पूरी होगी, जिसमें उन्होंने खास तौर पर हिंदुस्तान की महिलाओं को अपील करके कहा था कि वो उनके मसलात का समाधान चाहते हैं। और मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि जब तक पॉलिटिकल पार्टिसिपेशन में महिलाओं की भागीदारी नहीं बढ़ेगी, तब तक उनके मसलों का समाधान नहीं हो सकेगा।
In 2008, the bill was introduced in the Rajyasabha, but lapsed again in 2014 with the dissolution of the lower house.
With your permission, sir, I move that the bill further to amend the Constitution of India be taken into consideration. The Constitution 128th Amendment Bill 2023. अध्यक्ष महोदय, ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अमेंडमेंट बिल है और महत्वपूर्ण बिल है। महिला सशक्तिकरण की दिशा में एक बढ़ता हुआ कदम है।
In September 2023, in a renewed thrust towards translating women's rights into reality, the Union Cabinet approved the tabling of the bill, which was then introduced in the Lok Sabha on September 19th during the special session of the Parliament.
और आज हम इस लोकतंत्र के मंदिर में महिलाओं को उनका अधिकार देकर इस नारी शक्ति वंदन विधेयक को पास करके नारी शक्ति को वंदन कर रहे हैं। इसको पास करके भारत के प्रधान सेवक सच्चे कर्मयोगी साधक नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में लोकतंत्र की यात्रा में नया इतिहास रच रहे हैं।
This historic legislation has been discussed, debated and referred to by a variety of names. The 128th Constitution Amendment Bill, or the Women's Reservation Bill, which has been passed as the 106th Constitution Amendment Act, or the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, seeks to reserve 1/3 of the seats in the Lok Sabha and the state legislative assemblies for women. Within the quota of seats reserved for women, 1/3 will be reserved for women belonging to the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes. The law proposes that such reservation would continue for a period of 15 years. The seats reserved for women will be rotated after every delimitation exercise. With the Act coming into effect, the number of women members in the Lok Sabha will be more than doubled from the current figure of 82 to 181.
अभी जैसे 543 हमारी लोकसभा की सीट है, जैसे ही ये बिल पास होगा, ये कानून बनेगा, उसके बाद वर्तमान में लोकसभा में जो संख्या जो कि सबसे ज्यादा है 82 महिलाओं की संख्या है, वो 181 हो जाएगी इस कानून के पास होने के बाद।
What makes this legislation path-breaking? The Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam ensures greater voice for women in the temples of democracy. While the participation of women in Panchayati Raj institutions and in urban local bodies has been substantial, their representation in the Parliament and in the state legislatures has continued to remain limited. According to data from the Inter-Parliamentary Union, India, with only 15.2% of women in the Lok Sabha, ranks 141 out of 185 countries in terms of percentage of women in the lower house of National Parliament. The share of women parliamentarians in India has never exceeded the 15% mark in over 70 years of its electoral history. With the reservation of seats for women in Parliament coming into effect, India's rank will rise by nearly 90 places on the list, as will its amplified voice as an inclusive, vibrant and gender-sensitive democracy.
कि नहीं वक्त सोने का अब है, जाग उठो भारत नारी, गया शांति का वक्त, आज बनकर चलो आग की चिंगारी, बनकर सीता के समान वध रावण का करवाना है, आज कटारी बांध कमर में स्वयं युद्ध में जाना है, भाव भीरुता का तजकर तुम करो शेर की सवारी, नहीं वक्त सोने का अब है, जाग उठो भारत नारी, जाग उठो भारत नारी.
The Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam will go down in the annals of parliamentary history.
आज 19 सितंबर की ये तारीख इतिहास में अमरत्व को प्राप्त करने जा रहे हैं। नारी शक्ति वंदन अधिनियम, इसके माध्यम से हमारा लोकतंत्र और मजबूत होगा। मैं देश की माताओं, बहनों, बेटियों को नारी शक्ति वंदन अधिनियम के लिए बहुत-बहुत बधाई दूंगा।
It was the first bill to be tabled in the new building of Parliament and to be passed by near unanimity in the Lok Sabha.
2/3 बहुमत द्वारा पारित हुआ
And by complete unanimity in the Rajyasabha.
The bill is passed by the constitutionally required majority.
The nation witnessed 2 days of extensive dialogue, debate and deliberation in which over 130 members across the political spectrum rose to lend their voices to the discussion. proceedings on both days saw the presence of women in large numbers in the visitors' galleries of the Parliament House. Deliberations stretched beyond 8 hours in the Lok Sabha on the 20th of September. Let us hear what the esteemed members of Parliament had to say.
सरकार के तमाम आर्थिक सर्वेक्षण भी बताते हैं कि हमारे राज्य की विधानसभाओं से लेकर हमारे देश की लोकसभा में, देश की संसद में महिलाओं की भागीदारी बहुत कम है और इसलिए महिला आरक्षण विधेयक समय की ज़रूरत है। और आज ये बड़े दुख की बात है कि छोटे छोटे देश यूएई, क्यूबा, रुआंडा, मेक्सिको, निकारागुआ, न्यूजीलैंड, ये वो देश हैं जिन्होंने 50% तक महिलाओं की भागीदारी अपने डेमोक्रेसी में सुनिश्चित कर ली है। और भारत जो कहता है कि दुनिया के सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र है, हम अपने यहाँ 50% की अभी तक भागीदारी सुनिश्चित नहीं कर पाए हैं। तो उस दिशा में ये एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम है। और बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर ने कहा था कि पॉलिटिकल पावर इज़ द की टू सोशल प्रोग्रेस। हमने देखा है कि हमने अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज़ में, पंचायती राज संस्थाओं में जब अपने देश की महिलाओं को भागीदारी दी तो हमारी महिलाओं ने ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में, शहरी क्षेत्रों में कितना उल्लेखनीय कार्य करके दिखाया है।
कि महिलाओं के समानता के अधिकार के लिए चाहे राज्यसभा हो चाहे लोकसभा हो, हम सब महिलाओं को एकजुट होकर अपने सम्मान और अधिकार के लिए एक होना पड़ेगा।
जब ये अधिनियम लागू होगा तब के बाद 15 वर्षों तक महिलाओं को रिजर्वेशन गारंटी करती है। संविधान की मर्यादा की दृष्टि से देखें तो लक्ष्मी ने संवैधानिक स्वरूप लिया है इस अधिनियम के माध्यम से, जिसके लिए मैं सरकार का, इस सदन का और पीठ का विशेषता आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ। मातृशक्ति गवर्नेंस का केंद्र बिंदु होना चाहिए, क्योंकि इन्हीं महिलाओं के माध्यम से प्रदेश और देश विकसित हो पाएगा।
चुनाव के बाद तुरंत ही जनगणना और डिलिमिटेशन दोनों होंगे और बहुत जल्द ये दिन आएगा कि सदन में 1/3 माताएं यहाँ बैठकर देश के भाग्य को तय करेंगी।
Rajyasabha scripted history in its own right as it took up the bill for discussion after its passage in the Lok Sabha. In a landmark step, Honorable Chairman Rajyasabha, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar, reconstituted the panel of vice chairpersons comprising 17 women Rajyasabha members to preside over the proceedings of the day, which exceeded 11 long hours.
Considering historic importance of the proceedings today, in addition to the existing panel of vice chairpersons, I am seeking assistance of the following honorable members as vice chairpersons for the day. Shrimati P.T. Usha, Shrimati S. Fagnon Konyak, Shrimati Jaya Bachchan, Sushri Saroj Pandey, Shrimati Rajni Ashok Rao Patil, Dr. Fozia Khan, Sushri Dola Sen, Sushri Indubala Goswami, Dr. Kani Moji, NVN Somu, Sushri Kavita Patidar, Shrimati Mawa Maji, Dr. Kalpana Seni, Shrimati Sulta Dev. They all will have occasion, along with the panel, to be on the chair for some time and emanate a message to the larger world that they were in commanding position at a time when this historic theatre, epochal change was taking place.
The bill was passed by the Council of States late on the night of 21st September, with 214 votes in favour and none against. This rare and momentous display of consensus thus ended a wait of nearly 3 decades on an emphatically positive note.
Motion that the bill be passed. Result of the division, subject to correction, ayes 214. It's something all around.
Bill becoming an act is a watershed moment, a turning point in the constitutional evolution of Bharat. It is a seal of recognition of equal political rights for women. not just in voting, but also in their representation. The Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam opens up the political sphere to the entry of more women. The link between strong democracies and gender equality has never been in doubt. An enhanced presence of women in decision-making bodies like the Parliament translates to a greater role for them in the collective act of nation building. Ceding their rightful space to women in politics fosters leadership skills, helps bridge social asymmetries, and goes a long way in challenging traditional gender norms that exist in our society. Women representing women gives greater voice to 50% of the populace to participate in a concrete and constructive manner in issues that affect their gender.
Post 128th Amendment has actually been very thoughtfully crafted, considering that we are at a very critical stage of our development process. We've seen the success, and I certainly want to credit Shri P.V. Narasimha Raoji's government for having brought in the 33% reservation in the Panchayat Raj at that time. And as a result, we've seen the groundswell at the Panchayat level, where 33% reservation today by many states has been increased to 50% as well. About 20 states have already brought in 50% reservation, and showing therefore the contribution of women at the Panchayat, although it started with 33%, now has gone up to 50%. There are no regrets. Actually, people are very happy that there's actual participatory process which is seen in the ground.
ये लड़ाई हमारी जो शुरू हुई है, इतने सालों से ये लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं, तो मैं तो ये एक ऐतिहासिक पल मानती हूँ कि मुझे इसमें शामिल होने का सौभाग्य प्राप्त हुआ.
The crux of this bill is that women need to have political empowerment. She has to come and sit and give her, she has to participate in decision making.
Educationists, social reformers, entrepreneurs, artists and artisans, lawmakers, medical practitioners and healers, as counselors, mothers and homemakers, women who are everywhere, coalescing and contributing their best to build a society, a nation of great power, strength and character.
The correlation between empowered women in politics and socio-economic progress of the nation has been there for all to see. Research drawing on data from 182 countries and over 200 years has found that women's political empowerment is positively related to per capita GDP growth, translating into large long-term economic gains. Women demonstrate political leadership by working across party lines, even in the most politically combative environments. As per the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific, greater political leadership of women results in increased prioritization of social issues like health, education, parental leave, childcare and pensions. Studies have shown that civic facilities are far better in places in India where panchayats are headed by women. According to a study by the World Economic Forum, countries with a higher percentage of women in parliament tend to have stronger commitments to environmental sustainability and climate change mitigation. Higher numbers of women in political office thus contribute to stronger attention, not only to women's issues, but to issues that concern us all. Above all, the political participation of women is a matter of their right to equal opportunity and access, underscored in our Constitution and further affirmed by the Beijing Declaration at the 4th World Conference on Women, 1995. On 28 September 2023, the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, successfully passed by both houses of Parliament, was signed by the Vice President of India and Chairman Rajyasabha, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar. It was then placed before the President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, and received her assent the same evening. It is now officially known as the Constitution 106th Amendment Act. According to the Gazette notification dated September 28th, it shall come into force on such date as the central government may, by notification in the official Gazette, appoint. With this, India is poised to usher in an era of stronger representation for women setting the stage for women-led development across all spheres of public life in Amrit Kal. Political empowerment of women creates role models for individuals of all genders to normalize the idea and practice of women holding power. It bridges the aspiration gap in society, giving young girls the hope and the confidence to stand shoulder to shoulder with their male counterparts as equals. The Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam is a great stride forward for 1/6 of humanity. 1/3 representation for women in the parliament and in state legislatures is of immense significance. It stands as a recognition of a long due entitlement and sends across a powerful message of gender equality to the country and to the world.